The ring slipped from his trembling fingers and rolled across the office floor, stopping right between her shoes, and in that single breathless second, Daniel Harper realized he had just done something that could shatter the fragile life he had spent years trying to hold together. His heart slammed against his ribs as he looked up, expecting confusion, embarrassment, maybe even anger. Instead, what he saw on her face was something far more terrifying: calm acceptance, steady and warm, as if fate itself had already made the decision for both of them. Before the story unfolds any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and love finding its way through the most unexpected moments, take a second to like this video, share it with someone who believes in hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps stories like this alive. Daniel had not planned to propose to anyone. Not now, not ever, he thought. Life had taught him that love could disappear overnight, leaving behind unpaid bills, unanswered questions, and a 4-year-old child who woke up crying for a mother who would never come back. 3 years earlier, his wife had packed a single suitcase and walked out of their small rented house, leaving Daniel standing in the doorway with his son asleep in his arms and his entire future collapsing quietly around him. There had been no dramatic fight, no screaming. Just exhaustion, distance, and the soft click of a door closing for the last time. From that moment on, Daniel became two people in one body, a grieving husband and a determined father. Every morning began before sunrise. He packed lunches with clumsy hands, braided his son's hair while watching online tutorials, and memorized the rhythms of a child who pretended to be brave but still flinched at the word goodbye. Work was not a passion for Daniel, it was survival. As a project coordinator at a mid-sized architecture firm, he worked late hours and accepted every extra task offered, knowing that stability mattered more than happiness now. He kept his personal life locked away behind polite smiles and professional efficiency. That was where Emily Carter existed, in the quiet margins of his carefully controlled world. She was his colleague, not a friend, not a threat, and certainly not someone he allowed himself to think about in the dark hours after Noah fell asleep. Emily was calm where others were rushed, observant where others overlooked details. She had joined the firm a year after Daniel's life fell apart, and from the beginning, she treated him not with pity or curiosity but with steady respect. She noticed when he skipped lunch, when his eyes carried sleepless nights, and when deadlines pressed too hard against his already full life. Emily carried her own quiet history. She had learned early that love did not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it grew silently, through shared responsibility, through trust built slowly over time. She never asked Daniel questions he wasn't ready to answer, never crossed boundaries he carefully maintained. Instead, she became a constant, someone who reminded him of meetings, helped cover for him when Noah was sick, and left a cup of coffee on his desk on mornings when the world felt too heavy. The accident happened on a day that was already unraveling. Noah's school had called to report a minor injury, a harmless fall that nonetheless triggered every fear Daniel had learned to bury. At the same time, the firm was hosting an important presentation for potential investors. Daniel rushed through the day with his mind split in two places, his hands shaking as he fumbled through papers and promises. Emily stayed close, quietly managing details, guiding the presentation forward when Daniel's focus slipped. At the end of the meeting, overwhelmed and exhausted, Daniel reached into his pocket for his phone, intending to check messages from Noah's teacher. Instead, his fingers closed around something else, a small velvet box he had been carrying for weeks. It was meant for a completely different purpose, a reminder to himself to sell the ring that had once symbolized a forever that did not survive. He had never opened it at work before, never even thought about it. But stress has a way of pulling buried things to the surface. In a moment of mental collapse, with the room spinning and his thoughts tangled between past and present, Daniel dropped to one knee, not in romance but in a desperate attempt to steady himself. The box fell open, the ring slipped free, and when Emily instinctively reached out to help him, the scene froze into something unrecognizable. Time stretched thin as Daniel looked up at her, horror flooding his chest. He tried to explain, to rewind, to escape the moment entirely. But before his panic could fully form, Emily did something that stunned him. She didn't laugh. She didn't step back. She didn't make the moment lighter to ease his embarrassment. She simply bent down, picked up the ring, and placed it gently back into the box before nodding once, her expression calm and sincere, as if saying yes to a question he hadn't meant to ask but somehow needed answered. That yes echoed through Daniel's mind long after the office emptied. It followed him to the hospital where Noah sat bravely with a bandage on his knee. It followed him home, into the quiet house where memories lingered in the corners. He did not understand it. He did not trust it. And yet, something had shifted, like a door opening in a room he thought was permanently sealed. In the days that followed, Emily did not bring it up. She didn't act differently. That was what unsettled Daniel most. He expected awkwardness, tension, regret. Instead, there was the same steady presence, the same quiet support. It forced him to confront a truth he had been avoiding, that he was not just afraid of losing again, but of living forever closed off from the possibility of something better. Life tested that fragile opening immediately. Noah grew sick with a lingering fever that kept Daniel awake for nights on end. Work deadlines piled up. Doubt crept in, whispering that he had misunderstood everything, that Emily's calm yes was kindness, not intention. Yet, when Emily showed up at his door with soup, paperwork already handled, and patience that did not demand explanations, Daniel felt something crack inside him. He watched as she sat on the floor with Noah, helping him build a crooked tower of blocks, laughing softly when it fell. He saw how naturally she fit into the chaos of his life without trying to control it. For the first time since his wife left, Daniel allowed himself to imagine a future that did not feel like survival mode. But fear does not disappear quietly. Daniel wrestled with guilt, wondering if he was betraying a past that still hurt. He questioned whether he deserved happiness, whether it was fair to involve someone else in the unpredictable life of a single father. Nights were filled with restless thoughts, with memories that resurfaced when he least expected them. What changed him was not a grand moment, but a small one. One evening, after Noah had fallen asleep on the couch with his head against Emily's arm, Daniel saw the way she looked at his son, not as a responsibility, not as an obstacle, but as someone she already cared for deeply. There was no fear in her eyes, no hesitation. Just acceptance. Slowly, Daniel began to let go of the idea that love had to look like the past to be real. He understood that what he felt now was quieter, stronger. Built on shared resilience rather than illusion. The accidental proposal became a symbol not of mistake, but of timing, of life intervening when walls were built too high. Weeks passed, and the world did not fall apart. Instead, it softened. Mornings became easier. Laughter returned to the house. Daniel learned that healing did not erase scars, it taught you how to live with them. Emily never rushed him, never demanded promises. Her calm yes remained what it had always been, a choice, freely given, patiently held. As the seasons changed, Daniel realized that the man he had become through loss was capable of love in ways his younger self never understood. He was no longer running from pain, he was walking toward possibility. And Emily, with her quiet strength, walked beside him, not ahead, not behind. Just before the story ends, if this journey of unexpected love, healing, and second chances is touching your heart, please pause for a moment to comment below. Let us know what this story made you feel, because your words matter more than you know. In the end, Daniel understood that the most meaningful promises are not always spoken intentionally. Sometimes, they are revealed through accidents, through moments when defenses slip and truth rises to the surface. The ring no longer represented a broken past, but a future built slowly, honestly, and with courage. And if this story moved you, if it reminded you that love can arrive even when you think your heart is closed, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement keeps these stories alive, and together, we keep believing in second chances.